Today is January 6, 2018. 1 year ago, I bought my Prius Prime. Today I'm taking a road trip about 120, 130 miles, and I will pass 30,000 miles today. During the trip, I'm going to go over some things that I really don't care for in the Prius Prime, some things that I like, some things that I wish could be improved, and then it's like 3 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so I'm going to go over some things that I don't really care for in the winter time, some things to be aware of. But anyways, I just hit 30,000 miles, time for a 1 year review. It's actually really hard to find things that I don't like about the car. In my first video about the things that I didn't like about the Prius Prime, I mentioned how low it was to the ground. That is true. I have scuffed the front bumper, the front splitter on the bottom, and some people are like, oh, well, you don't know how to drive, you know, you pull up too close to curbs, that sort of thing. It's not from curbs, it's from steep driveways. One of my friends has a pretty steep driveway, and when I'm going down it, my bumper will scuff if I don't go at an angle. It's similar to, like, you know, supercars or whatever. The acrylic front bumper, it cracks so easily. I actually have a hole in mine. I went to look up to replace this. I thought it was going to be like a $80, $90 part. They don't sell it individually. They sell the entire sub-assembly, which is like $550. And I found a couple used on eBay for like $200, $250. But those, you know, they're used and they're also cracked and scratched. And in the future, I really wish that they make that out of polycarbonate. I think it would be much better. I don't really care for the glare in the large touchscreen. There are anti-glare covers you can put over them. Some people talk about the visors being very small, and I suppose they are small, I guess, but I used to have an Audi A4, and they were like the same size. I think the Audi was a little bit smaller, so coming from that, it really didn't make that much of a difference to me. I wear sunglasses when I'm driving towards the sun, so not really that big of a deal for me, but for some people it's annoying. The trunk space is a little bit reduced versus the regular Prius. It's more than adequate for me. Fold down the rear seats, you have plenty of room to store stuff. You can see I've got a hockey bag, some hockey sticks, a tote, book bag back there right now. Yeah, there's plenty of room. I couldn't be more pleased with the cargo space. The wireless charger takes forever to charge my phone. I don't use it. I'd actually rather plug it into the USB port. Some people talk about the 4 seats in the back being an issue. For me, it's not really an issue. When I'm driving, it's typically with just myself. If I do have a passenger, you know, typically it's only 1 or 2 people, so it's not really an issue for me, but for some people, I guess it is if they have kids, whatever. Another thing that I don't really care for, or that I mentioned that I didn't like, was how it handled in the winter. But, I mean, take that with a grain of salt, because I was running the stock tires last winter. I got some Nokian Hawk completed 9s this winter, and I love this thing in the winter. It is so good. Something to note about the Prius Prime in the winter, the backup camera is going to get dirty very quickly. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's very difficult to see out of. I find myself having to clean it quite often. The rear window looks pretty cool, probably helps a lot with the drag. However, it creates a large area in the middle for snow and ice to accumulate. You can kind of see it right there. I have the rear window defroster on, but it melts the stuff around it, but in the middle, there's just too much snow and ice to really have it melt, and it just kind of stays there, and it creates a blind spot right in the middle of the windshield. If the temperature is so cold outside and you're charging your car overnight, you get in your car in the morning and you have it set so the cabin temperature is at, you know, 80 degrees or whatever. If it's cold enough outside, it will not warm up your cabin. It won't, like, you can't use the electric heater. It says something about it in the owner's manual that if it's cold enough that, you know, the electric heater won't work. I tried doing this the other day. It was 13 below out. I thought that I was going to come into a warm cabin. That was not the case. It was extremely cold. That's kind of annoying, because those are the days where I would like that feature the most. If the front of the car has a lot of snow or ice caked up on it, and it covers the Toyota emblem, behind that is where the radar is for the radar assisted cruise control. I have received messages in the past saying, like, hey, the cruise control isn't going to work. I don't really like to use cruise control, so it's not really an issue for me, but for some people that like it, that's something to be aware of if you drive where there's a lot of, like, lake effect snow and stuff. Now we'll get into some things that I actually really like, because there's not too many things that I don't like about the car. First of all, what attracted me to this car was the looks. I don't think I'm entirely crazy for thinking that the front end of the Prius Prime looks similar to the new Acura NSX supercar. the lights really make this car, it looks like nothing else on the road. They look awesome. From both the driver's perspective, but also other people on the road. One thing I don't really care for is because they're super bright and they're super focused, the light doesn't scatter towards the sides. So if you're going around a corner, like in a parking lot at night, and it's really, really dark out, it's kind of difficult to see, like, you know, off to your left or your right. It's almost like you have tinted windows, even though you don't, just because it's so dark. The brakes on this car are awesome. They're just so incredibly good. The handling in the Prius is also very good. I think this generation of the Prius Prime, but also I think it's the 4th generation Prius, they did away with the trailing arms in the rear suspension, and now they have independent rear suspension, and I couldn't be more happy with it. I do like the drive modes. It's nice to put it into eco mode. It doesn't really get in the way that much, but you know, when you want to stomp on the accelerator because you have to get out of a hairy situation really quickly or whatever, it doesn't hold you back. You can still go into power mode region. Another thing that I really like about the car, and this might not really seem like, I don't know, an obvious thing, but someone who isn't me had a similar Prius Prime and has on multiple occasions went past police officers going over the speed limit. The car, even though it stands out, it doesn't stand out like a sports car. I mean, it definitely catches your eye because it looks like nothing else on the road. However, cops don't really give you a hard time with this car, which is kind of nice. I mean, no one likes to get tickets, but you know, I guess I don't know firsthand because that wasn't me. I really like the navigation system in this car. It shows me where there's accidents, if I can save, you know, distances or whatever. It shows me if I want to avoid the tolls. It shows me where U-turns are on the interstate. That's kind of cool. I've never seen a navigation system do that before. Maybe some of them do, I'm not sure, but I don't know. I'm pleased with it. I also really like the automatic windows. All 4 windows are automatic, both going down and up. It's, I don't know, in most cars it's either the driver's window or both the driver and the passenger. Not typically the rear seats are also automatic, but it's pretty cool to have. Another thing that was appealing to me is Toyota's build quality. I work in manufacturing, so I can really appreciate the Toyota production system, and the quality and reliability is just superb. Overall, I'm really pleased with this car. I would definitely recommend getting one if you're thinking about it. I hope you found this review helpful for you. If you did, hit the like button, it helps me out. Check out my other Prius Prime videos on my channel. In the future, I'll have more videos coming out, not just about the Prius Prime, about other electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids. So it's cold across all the US and Canada right now. So take care and stay warm.